Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to discuss on how to pitch an idea. So, how to pitch an idea? So, let us see about the guidelines how to pitch an idea. Idea pitching. What is idea pitching? Idea pitching is presenting your idea to the intended people. The intended people can be maybe your boss, maybe your company, maybe an outside party where you are giving a sales proposition. So it may be university where you're presenting to a team of professors. So you should know who are your audience. Then accordingly you should prepare your presentation and pitch it. Idea pitching is nothing but presenting your idea in a shortest time possible. Nevertheless, this pitching shall be done knowing who are your audience, right? If it is highly acclaimed professors and all, you should go a little bit deeper and technical. But if it is a common public like managers and such kind of users, then you should emphasize more on the utility part of it. So idea pitching, how to pitch the idea is very important technique. So idea pitching sometimes if it is not done properly, the whole thing can failure. So idea pitching is as important as the idea itself. So if you're not able to convince the potential investors with your viability of your business idea, then probably you cannot in future perhaps convince the customers to buy your product, right? So actually new idea demands change. People generally resist the change. They want to avoid the change at any cost. They are comfortable with the current whatever thing because they are used to it. So you should find the people who are open to change. The ideal people to present an idea is people who are open to new ideas, who are actually looking for new ideas to improve their life, to improve their business, to improve their profit, so on and so on. So the ideal combination of people who are your would be receivers of your idea shall be the one who are open to change. In the modern world, it is useless to be creative, original thinker, unless you can sell what you create, right? Whole thing boils down to how you how you present yourself, your idea to the customers, and how to penetrate the market. So the innovation itself has a dimension of commercialization. As they say, the patent must be, to be given a patent, it should comply with NUNS. It is in short term, it is called NUN. Novelty shall be there, utility shall be, that means your product shall be useful to the market. It should be novel. NUN. The third N is novelty, utility, and non-obviousness, means it should not be very obvious to the people who are expert in that field. So then the fourth thing is statutory requirement. So unless a commercial angle is there, so utility, that is, if it is not useful to the public, probably it won't be deserving a patent. Any innovation must be useful to the public. So management cannot be expected to recognize good idea unless it is presented to them by a good salesman. It's true. See, management normally they are busy with their own turnover and their business, this thing. They actually, even though open for new ideas, unless a good salesman comes and presents this and explain to them all the doubts and present in such a fashion that by implementing this idea, it is beneficial to them. Suppose your idea is related to a web or software, it is entirely possible to make a kind of a small flash presentation, means in a kind of a small video, HTML document, or it is catchy for people's eye. Then there is other kind of real world where you truly creative and you can apply these ideas and present in such a way that the would-be customer will be very much interested in buying this idea. So the importance, the essence of the idea is not only the idea, but the way it is to be presented. Normally, this puts a burden on finding the right people to pitch your idea. As we explained, it has to be, the idea has to be presented to people who matters, who are decision makers, or who are open to new ideas. Then only there is a chance for success. So your half the time is spent on finding the right people, that is, who are willing for a change, who are open to new ideas. So the task of bringing an idea to someone with the power to do something means he is a decision maker. He is called pitch. The pitch definition is the task of bringing an idea to someone with the power to do something. So that is called pitch. Scott Berkun has suggested 9 points to be taken care to be successful pitching your idea. These are very important points. There are 9 points he suggested on how to pitch. Let us examine what are they. Scott Berkun has written a book, The Myth of Innovation. So it's very interesting to read, and he has suggested 9 important points on how to pitch an idea. He has told, do not trust to pitch your idea unless you did homework. Suppose you started a small presentation and the would-be customer asks some questions, whether it is, suppose you try to market, let us say, one kind of a chemical. So the customer asks, is it soluble in water? Unless you know the basic questions of that, what customer is expected, so your presentation go hairy-wairy. So you should thoroughly do your homework to whom you are presenting. What is the likely questions? You should guess what is the likely questions. How do you guess? It is difficult to guess. So you have to present this to a similar person in your organization. Suppose you are going to meet a sales head in another organization. So first present to your sales head and let him grill you with the questions which that sales head is likely to ask. Then you will be in a position to answer those questions. The general questions are like this. What problem does this solve? Your new invention, they will ask, any manager will ask. Any innovation or invention is supposed to solve a problem, existing problem. Then only people will buy. Otherwise, simply a fancy toy like thing, nobody will buy. So, what problem does this solve is very important question of the 9 guidelines. There are 9 guidelines he has given. The first important question what he told, you should, in a single word, single sentence, you should answer what problem this invention solve. Then, okay, agreed that this problem, this invention is likely to solve. Then, second obvious question, what is the evidence that this problem really exists in the world and it is important now to solve that problem? Suppose there is no problem exists, there is no need for the solution and no market for the solution. So you have to also gather evidence that this problem is real, faced by many people in the world. So it is to be urgently solved and important to solve, and there is a money involved in this. If I solve this problem, will be beneficial to the organization. Then only you can go to next step of the innovation pitching. The first is what problem this is solved. Then second question is whether is it worth to solve this problem at all financially. So that second question is also very interesting question, but this is obvious question from the managers. Then what is the toughest logistical challenge? Okay, you understood what is the problem it will solve, and you also have demonstrated that evidence that this problem is real and solving it will get money. I understand. Then what is the third question? What are the challenges, mainly logistical challenges in this innovation? So to implement this innovation, what are the logistical challenges? That is probably a third question by the manager. So you should think about what are the logistics you are going to face. Suppose you have to bring the raw material from Australia, and there are currently some sanctions in that country not to sell some products to India and all that. So those kind of challenges. And suppose you want to bring a material which is having a short life, maybe 1 week. So you cannot bring them by ship. You have to necessarily bring them flights. You have to coordinate in such a fashion that within that 1 week you have to bring and put to use. So what are that kind of logistical challenges? And there can be some permits, some licenses. The licenses has to be applied 6 months before in some countries. So those kind of logistic challenges you should pre-think and have a solution for it. Then, do you have a prototype? Okay, good. Your product concept is good, but have you made any prototype to demonstrate to the ultimate owner that this will work, how it looks like, how it feels? That is called proof of concept. So, proof of concept is the next important question they are likely to ask. Prototype is not necessarily a physical prototype, but a kind of looking like prototype, but it may not be function like a real thing, but it will have a feel of how it looks like. Say a dummy mobile, for example, is a prototype. It's not functional prototype, but it looks like that. Then, why you are the right person to solve it? Why so many people in the world, so many intelligent, so many professors, so many businessmen has not solved this problem earlier? Why it is so that you are the only right person, first person to solve this? You have to demonstrate here your credentials. So I have specialization of this. I have thought about it. I worked on this. That's why I am more capable of solving than my earlier people, earlier generations in the company or in the country or whatever. So you have to demonstrate your unique credentials that you are the right person to solve this problem. Why should this problem be solved now? Okay. Yes, problem is there, real world. But what is the urgency to solve it now? This market may be there of 10 years also. No. This market may rapidly change because of other innovations are coming in the market and everything. It is also not the right time yet to solve 10 years earlier, because that time these features are not commercially available. So now it is the right time. You have to also prove this is the right time to launch this product. 10 years back, there is no GPS fast communication. So this device will not work. 10 years later, there may be other kind of devices and other kind of satellite phones. Then this may not be required. So we have to prove that this is the right time to launch your product. Then this is a very pertinent question. Question number 7 is then they will ask about themselves. Why you think my company, you approached us, why we are the right people to solve and market this? Why should our organization to solve this issue? You approach some company, let us say Tata Motors. I have invented this battery milk. So they will ask you, why only Tata Motors? Why you have not gone to Kinetic? Why you have not gone to TVS? Then you have to tell with convincing reasons why you feel Tata Motors is the right people to adopt this technology and market. What is the unique specific features of the Tata Motors that this where you feel your battery has a maximum market and maximum advantage of that? So you have to convince them. That means you have to make study of that organization before approaching that. What is the turnover? What they're looking for? What are their innovation policy next 5 years? What products are they currently doing research? You have to do a lot of research on the organization to which you are going to pitch this idea. So before you go to say Tata's, you have to find out from the web pages, from the balance sheets, from their manuals, from the internet, what and all Tata Motors is up to, what their future plans are. Then if you can fit into their future plans, your success rate is likely more good than if you're not knowing anything about their future plans, you simply pitch a new idea to them, they may not be interested. Yes, the bigger the idea, the more involved is the pitch. So if it is a very big idea, then you have to make necessary preparation suitable to that. So convincing a CEO to start a new $1 million company is always takes more effort than convincing your best friend to loan his pen. So bigger the idea, bigger is the pitching required. So you have to prepare slides, you have to prepare videos, you have to prepare, do a lot of background work. The pitching presentation may take 1 month to prepare. It is not a joke. You have to gather a lot of data, and you have to know your customer. You have to know what is his needs. All this research work, and then you make presentation suitable to that. So the bigger the idea, the more involved is the pitch. Then you have to also study couple of examples how big ideas were pitched by earlier other successful people. So earlier, let us say there is no online booking of the film tickets. Now you want to launch a very big site to sell tickets, film tickets online. So let's say it has a far-reaching implications. Entire country or entire world can adopt your model. So such kind of a far-reaching any innovation earlier people have done, how they pitched, how made their presentation, how prepared they were. So by studying the big ideas pitching examples earlier by successful people, you will get some clue how to pitch your idea. So big ideas requires more chance to take place on someone's part. So very dramatically, very new idea means they have to change their assembly line. They have to even change their manufacturing product. Even they have to fire some people, recruit more people. So the bigger the idea, the more new the idea, the much more is difficult to convince people. So, but you have to accordingly pitch. You have to do all the homework and pitch accordingly, and you should be bold and risky. Yes, new ideas is difficult to sell, but rewards also more. The stakes are higher here. Who has to power to greenlight the idea? Means who is the decision maker? Now your task is make a list of the people that are potential recipients of your pitch. This could be your boss or your vice president or another company or a bank or a publisher or a investor. So accordingly to whom you are going to present, keep that in mind and present. So you have to, preparation shall be according to who is your recipient. Check who has the power needed to implement this idea. It is not worth to present the idea wasting time to a non-decision maker. I always prefer to present my idea to a decision maker so that if he is convinced, at least he will implement. Suppose I will present to a very lower level of people in that organization who are not a decision makers, my time may get wasted. So I will try to pitch my idea to a topmost one, or if not, at least decision maker. But sometimes top man difficult to get an access. So in that time, necessarily I have to go through this bureaucratic ladder. So I will go to that middleman and I will pitch him. I will first convince him. I have to find what is his version of it, improve upon it, take his suggestions, and finally approach the CEO. That means several rounds of preparations and pitching to subordinates may be needed before you get to the chance to present to the CEO. So it can be weeks or even months. But it is important finally not lose the patience and go through all this necessary bureaucracy. Finally, wait for your chance to present to top man who is the change maker and real decision maker. If he is convinced, your idea will be implemented. So wait for that. And the presentation also will not be same all throughout. For a middle level, one kind of presentation. For a top level, much more less time. Suppose when you presented half an hour, top end may not have that much time. You have to reduce that presentation time to 10 minutes or even 5 minutes. So you have to pitch accordingly to whom you are presenting. That is very important. So you have to also do some exercise. How do they think about the world? So what kind of things they are probably interested in? You have to find this before you present to them. What are their typical day like? Are they more comfortable in the morning or more comfortable in the evening? What is the time they likely to receive this unsolicited pitches? So we have to pitch that time. Now, suppose they are in the afternoon after lunch, they are interested in spending time leisurely and trying to hear new ideas. You have to book a slot in that time. Also check who has the power needed to implement that. That is very important. And who might you have access to. See, there is two things. One is a decision maker, but you may not have access to. So you have to necessarily present the situation to middle people and then access him. So the better your pitch fits into their needs, perspectives, then the likely to succeed, the odds of success is great. If you can find out what are their needs and match your presentation in line with fitting to their needs, it will be likelihood of success. So how you prepare? The structure of a pitch. How to structure your pitching? Okay. Always you have to make 3 levels in terms of depth presentation. 3 presentations. Okay. One, you make presentation lasting for 5 minutes. It will have a little detail and more kind of illustrations and all that. There can be sometimes you have to, they will not give 5 minutes. They can be only just 30 seconds. Means you will just cross him on the lift, and while both traveling the lift, you have to explain this feature in 30 seconds. That's the situation. Sometimes it can be only 5 seconds. Before he cuts the phone, you should attract him within the 5 seconds. So you should prepare your pitch suitable for all the 3 time slots. So according to what time it is available to you, you have to pitch. Refine till you think you are right. You have the right content to present in this 3 time intervals. What you want to say as a first sentence, how you want to end. So these are all very important to 3 presentations you made ready. Depends upon the time slot available with the client. You are ready with all the 3 kind of slot. So, for example, my idea, you can say it is a way to make cars engines twice as efficient and 5 times as powerful. This in 5 seconds you can tell this. So people are likely to get attracted because the benefit you have showcased in just 1 sentence. You are saying the engine is double the efficient, and with respect to power, it is 5 times more powerful. It definitely attracts any businessman. Okay, let us listen to more about this. In 30 seconds, pitch you can explain how you can achieve. So a little time is there, 30 seconds please. 5 seconds is much more difficult. 30 seconds you can also explain methodology, how we are going to achieve this. The 5 minutes pitch is most elaborate, most probably in a written pitch, means you will send an offer in a email. You can explain various details and what are the things research you have done and how you feel it is definitely a success. So you have to have 3 different presentations on the same subject ready with you all the time. Whenever you get the opportunity, whether you get 5 seconds or 5 minutes or half an hour, accordingly you should be ready with the pitching that subject to your prospect. As I told, the prospect can be your investor, you can be your boss, or you can be your other company where you are pitching the sale. So this all to be ready. You have to be ready with presentation in all the 3 time slots. Test the pitch. That is very important. Test the pitch means you directly don't go to your prospective client. Suppose a vice president of some automobile company. Before that, you find an equivalent person in your organization or some your colleague who has experience in this field. Then ask to be pretend like a Bill Gates. So you present to him. You expect likely questions, how he reacts. You will get some exposure, how to deal the unexpected questions, how to present to a big shot. So, and what level you can go deep in the pitch. So that is practice. Practice makes a man or woman perfect. So you have to pitch to the others who are equivalent or likely to be having similar characteristics, so that it will be secondary for you. You can improve upon the first time mistakes. So from your pitch test, develop a list of questions you expect to be asked during the pitch. and be prepared to answer them. There can be some unexpected questions too. So you have to thoroughly do your homework, all expected questions. There sometimes you will get a tough question which is cannot be answered. You didn't done the homework. Then you have to take a polite this thing. You have to say, I will check back and come back to you answer tomorrow or something. You have to tell him, I will check back and come back definitely. This aspect details are right now not available. So, but this particular question was worked upon by my team. So I will check with my colleague and I will come back to you with the answer. So like that, you have to politely tell and take them permission to answer that question. So you have to act smartly and be sure that you will definitely go with the answer to him immediately as soon as possible. So if I have prepared well, then this matter of delivering the speech. So have a good idea that is truly you believe in, and the main is not to get too nervous, and most of the work in the hands of whoever is listening to you. Be calm and be direct. State your case and then listen. Like any kind of public speaking type situation, the more often you do it, you are more comfortable you get with. Spend some time preparing for a positive response. So sometimes people are not self-confident. They'll pitch the idea. Suppose immediately that person says, shall I write down the check and give it to you as order after the end of the presentation? You don't know what to say. So you should be prepared even for receiving the order for that. That means you should be prepared for what is the outcome of this. Sometimes the client is so impressed, immediately he want to write a check and give. But you are not in a position to take how much to ask for, what is the value of it, how much is the advance you will ask. You cannot say, no, I will check back and come tomorrow for taking the check. So you should be prepared for the positive outcome. So it is like people went to a temple to pray for the rains. All the people went to pray, but one person only took the umbrella to the temple. So all these people means non-believers. They simply prayed, but they don't really believe that rain comes after the prayer. So that one person who went to the temple with the umbrella is the right person who believed in his idea. So like that, when you pitch this idea, expected a positive outcome, be prepared how to handle that positive outcome. That means, suppose, let us discuss commercials, he will say. So you have to immediately keep aside next to him, your commercial manager shall be available to work out the commercial details. You should not say, let's postpone to tomorrow. He may not be available tomorrow. So that kind of preparedness shall be required on your part to receive the success. If there are other people involved who approval is needed, ask them to set up a meeting with you. Suppose already technical director of that company approved you. There is one finance director, he also has to approve. Then you request this person who is convinced your idea, sir, kindly set up a meeting with that. Is it possible to set up a meeting with him? So you request for a meeting with that person to be organized with this person. So that he will be obliged to do it because he already liked the idea. He eager to take it forward. He would definitely help you setting up the meeting with other people. Then otherwise you directly finding out and setting up the meeting that other important person. There are occasions where things won't go well, which fails. So when the things do not go well, your job is to harvest as much value from the attempt possible. Means I made a failed presentation, but I should learn something from it. What has went wrong? Whether did I overdid it or did I underdid it? Whether I didn't miss it to cover important points or I didn't answer the questions fully. So what has failed, you should learn from this mistake, then improve those things for next presentation. So it is like a learning exercise. So always leave failed pitches with the understanding that what went wrong. That is important. You should know what went wrong in the failed pitch. Sometimes pitch fails, but you should learn something from it. Which point did not they agree with? Which of your assumptions did they refute? If someone else in the room was there who is observing this presentation, this page, ask their feedback. In short, get as much learning out of the failed pitch. Suppose you are present into your a company's vice president. There may be his PA listening to what is happening, and body reaction of his vice president and you also. He can give a valuable insight into your presentation. He can point out what went wrong, where he is observing since his vice president feel distinctly uncomfortable. So there is a clue from that. So you can request them what went wrong. He is probably oblige you to give the feedback so that you can improve upon in the next presentation. So failed pitch also has a value in the terms of learning how you can improve your pitching. Okay. Consider compromising on how much power is needed to make your idea happen, or how to split your idea into smaller ideas. Okay. So the failed pitch also has some learning value. So immediately try to get what are the feedbacks and where it went wrong. Then learn upon it, improve upon it. So let us learn about one of the best example of innovation. This example is pertains to what is popularly known as a Jaipur foot. Some people due to accidents and some due to infection, limbs will be amputated. It means the limb will be cut off. So the people will not be able to do their daily course. They will not be able to walk. They will not be able to eat. They will not be able to do any work. So with one limb missing. So this Bhagavan Mahavir Viklang Sahayata Samiti, it in short BMVSS. There is an organization in Jaipur which is the brainchild of developing this Jaipur foot. The person who comes to the center will be fitted with artificial limb, and within 3 days he is able to walk back, and he most probably can do his works. Suppose he is already in profession, he can probably continue that profession most probably. This that much they're giving a rebirth to a person who is amputated. It's a traumatic experience for any person to lose a limb. So this organization has worked on all the 3 aspects of the customer needs. The customer probably in a state of shock when his arm or leg is amputated. He is in a psychological depressed state. So psychological needs are there. Probably for treatment and other things, he would have spent all his money. He may be in very poor condition. He may not be able to pay any money. He may be in such a economically very weak condition, and probably most of the accidents and the road accidents and other things happen to everybody, but the large majority of the people who come into center, 90% of the people found to be extremely poor, extremely not educated, and also they are emotionally weak, traumatic experience because of they met with just before they met few days back they met an accident. So these people has made pitching on these lines to address all the 3 aspects of it. Some of the important features are timings. People can reach the center anytime, day, night, 24 hours. There are no timings. Anybody can simply walk into the without appointment. So timings, any disabled person, patient can visit this center anytime, day and night. Normally, in any medical facility or any service center, there will be registration, laborious, lengthy application filling, paying fee and all that, proof, address proof and all that. So it takes hours to actually get registered. The big queue can be also there. So here they change that all that. They first admit and then register. They first admit you into give the accommodation, put you in a room, and then the staff will come to your seat aram se and take all the details from you and then register. Registration can be secondary. First they will admit, then register. It's a very good innovative practice. So this makes the patients very comfortable. Then the on-the-spot service, because they need not have to go from pillar to post. The first counter where you approach itself, they will give you accommodation to put it someplace. Then the relevant people will come to you. You need not have to move from desk to desk. There can be 4 or 5 desks. One is registration, second is room admission, third is payment fee. So in a bureaucratic hospital, there can be 4 or 5 steps for people you have to go and handle. Everywhere there can be queues. Here, first you will be admitted. Where the first account itself will make all the formalities and put you admit into the thing. Then all the relevant people of that different departments comes to you in your comfortably after you are placed in that accommodation. They will take all the needed things. Somebody will come and register. Somebody will take you measurements. Somebody will take you any nominal fees is there. Everything is done, delivered at your comfort. And also, how long you can stay. Say normally it will be given for 3 days. Most of the things are complete in 3 days. But based upon medical advice, your stay is automatically extended as long as it is required. You do not have to separately stand in the queue with your amputated limb and extend your stay in the room. So actually this product was put in extremely low price. The foot is something like artificial limb is like 2,000 rupees. So that anybody can pay, and they also organize from the donations. A lot of people donate, like Bill Gates Foundation, even Government of India has donated a lot of funds. And you are doing very good work. Let me put funds like that. So the price is extremely low. The equivalent imported limbs are costing few lakh rupees. This foot is only priced around 2,000 rupees. So it is very much in the reach of poor, and that 2,000 also people can organize from the donations. You do not have to actually really pay. We are really poor. The second aspect is it is custom built. Each Jaipur foot is manufactured for the person's size. Imagine, foreign made there are only 4 varieties: large, big, medium, small. So you have to select one of this. So it will not exactly fit your limb space. But whereas here they will take the measurements of the patient, and to that measurement they will make this limb. Tailor-made limb, and that too within 24 hours. The total cycle will be completed within 3 days. So the custom built limbs fit exactly as per your dimensions. There will not be any looseness. There will not be any discomfort. So the extremely comfortable limbs, because they are tailor made. And these are all made with the hand. Mostly they will have made hand and given employment to a lot of people. So handmade products. Another important feature of this center is patients are served with empathy, personal attention. Each person gets a personal attention, and they are very sympathetic. They are trying to be sympathetic. Efficiency. The limb caliper fitment are customized services, and so many people daily visit this center. In a year, approximately they fit to cater to around 16,000 patients. So each will have different size. Tailor-made limbs will be manufactured, 16,000 of them in a year. See how much tailor-made. Normally in the advanced countries also, only 4 or 5 sizes are available. You have to choose one and fit. Here, unlike that, it is made as per your dimensions to be so that you will be completely comfortable. There are many quality standards maintained. The rubber and all should not give reaction to your skin. All that they will do, and it will be done by experts, not ordinary people. A lot of experts give technology to this center. And cost as I told, is kept very low. This organization itself is not for profit under Section 88 kind of company of the Indian Companies Act. The most of the donations will be spent on the actual manufacturing and providing the limb. They will not spend that money on the fat salaries of the staff and all that. The overheads are just 4%. Imagine any NGO working on a overhead of only 4%. So somebody, when a very renowned professor, Professor C.K. Prahlad of Michigan University, came to the center, studied this whole process for a year, and he made a book. In his book, he told the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. The book title is The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid. Concluded that after he made a diligent analysis, cost of this BMBSS perhaps is the lowest for any non-profit organization worldwide. Many organizations are there like Child Care India, but there the overheads are like 30%. Whereas this particular center only spent just 4% on the overheads. Most of the money is spent very wisely and worthily on the products they make and fit to the people. So people are encouraged to give a lot of donations so that the complete money is mostly used on the purpose, not on the overheads. So manufacturing process, as you see, lot of people are working with their own hands, and it is like a cottage industry like thing. So there is no big factories to make this, but it will give a lot of employment to the people like these people seen in the picture. Manual, completely manual process. The best part of it is that after that limb, the artificial limb is put, you can do all the things a normal person can do. For example, he can do walking, running, squatting, sitting, climbing. You can climb a tree. After I saw one person with a Jaipur foot climbing a tree. So imagine it is like a normal leg after putting. So that kind of innovation, these people, and bring a lot of light to the people who are affected by unfortunate situation like accidents or some other disease. Where they were, for example, in some sugar patients also their limbs were amputated because it has infected. So these people were like reborn after putting this, and all for a cost of 2,000 or less. This is the book what I am talking about. Professor Prahlad has made something like a study of this entire process for a year, and he mentioned in this book the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. So he commented that perhaps this is the best NGO has seen, with just 4% or less on the spending of overheads. So, like this, it's a best innovation which is made to people and very useful. Now, what about technology part? This is so many people come in support of this. Very world-renowned people coming and giving different technology. Doe company came for giving technology on the friendly rubber products for human skin, and MIT, very world-renowned engineering, famous Massachusetts College, USA, and Stanford, both has pitched in with a lot of research and 3D models and how to take measurements and convert quickly into model. High-end technology was provided to this institute, and even many Indian institutes like ISRO and Professor Abdul Kalam also involved in supporting this venture. Then there are all the IITs, Mumbai particularly, the IDC Center of Mumbai. Professor Chakravarti and all personally had visited this place and given a lot of sessions and continued support this institute. So technology constantly coming in, new technology, whatever available to the world best companies are made available to this charitable trust. Then there are special institutes like Research Center, which is in Jaipur, Rehabilitation Research Center. So there is a NITs. Many people has pitched in to make this technology available to the this particular NGO, so that they will deliver best to the society. So if you are pitching the right way, resources will, this is the best example, that will automatically come. Actually, this institute not approached, but people came to know that what is the good work done by them. The most of the institutes came to know, and on their own they came and supported this initiative in various ways. The Dow Chemicals, the Ford company, and also this even government of India donated a lot of funds, seeing this kind of work these people are doing. So this, in my opinion, this is the best example of how a innovation should be. So I wish you'll get lot many ideas which is useful to the people in your endeavors. I wish best of luck for the students.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.